So guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be doing like my lighting breakdown and setup. Right here on my Photoshop I have a couple of pictures to use and demonstrate my lighting setup while I break it down and explain to you how I go about it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is the first picture right here. The model is Hepzibah. So looking at this photo, we know that this is an outdoor shoot in the night. This area is an area where they mine white sand. As you can see from the environment, she's sitting on a heap of sand, and of course we have the sand on the background. Now to the lighting, I used two lights. This is the main light. As you can see, this is like a tube light. I can't remember the brand, but set on blue color. And behind her I have a speed light with an orange gel, which, as you've seen in my previous video, creates a complementary color of blue and orange, which is my favorite. So yeah, that's pretty much it. She's also putting on a white gown, which also aids to distribute the light across her body. Then on this other side, this is dark shadow. The light falls off into shadow, which also helps with the overall look and feel I wanted. All right, moving on to the next picture. We have the same environment, the same setup, but a slight change to the backlight. Now I have her sitting, right, and she is putting the light on one side of the face. As you can see right here, it's it's illuminating just the left side of her face, which makes the right complete darkness. This split lighting where one is lit and the other turns into darkness, right? And on the back I still have the speed light, but this time around turned to her, not turned to the wall, turned to her, so it's illuminating her back. As you can see from the hair, her hair is illuminated, and yeah, you can even see the sand and everything. This is the tripod holding the light. So basically one is the opposite of the other one, the same setup, but one is turned to the sand behind her, and this other one, the light is turned to her from behind. Now moving on to the next picture. This was actually a mistake. This was supposed to be the same thing. This is the orange light behind on the wall, but at the split second of taking this picture, what happened was the light actually went off. I think the light at the time had like partial contact, so the light went off just before taking the shot, and it gave all this silhouette effect, which to be honest I didn't think about, but I guess it's luck. And yeah, so this is just a one light setup. The speed light, I have a speed light behind, illuminating the sandy wall, or the wall of sand behind her. That's it. All right, this was a shoot I had recently. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a YouTube video behind the scenes from it. However, I wanted to feature it in the lighting breakdown, as I am doing right now. Right here you have the model looking pretty, Chelsea Polycarp, another familiar face on the channel by now, so check her out. Then this is a 3-light setup. Well, I have one light here, so let me pull out my brush real quick. So for this particular look, I used a 3-light setup for this image. As you can see here, this is the main light illuminating her from this side, right? This is like 1/4 or 1/2, almost full power. Then I have this speed light from the back illuminating the background as well. So shout out to that image maker, Chelsea the model, and the makeup artist Bossy Looks. If you have not watched the video, check it right here or somewhere there, or in the description below. So moving on, for this particular picture I had the field light activated as well. This is the field light, but it was at like the lowest level, I think 1/32 or 1/16, something like that, to just fill in the the right side of the picture. You understand? To film the right side of the picture, because this was the highest power. My main light came at the highest power. This was like a stop lower than it. This is the background light, and the field light was like the lowest to just give the picture an overall look. Now this is the edited picture from the shoot. Here are other pictures from the shoot, other looks. They all employ the same lighting setup. However, in these other ones, I removed or I took out the field light, to make the picture more contrasty and more dynamic. All right. Now moving on to the next photograph. This shoot is another video on my YouTube channel. You can check it down below, or I'll link it in the profile cards or in the description below. Something about sunset simulation in the studio. Although I explained it in the video, if you haven't watched it, you can check it out. But while we're here, this is how I achieved it. I had a speed light right up above here on full power. This is illuminating her hair, right? This is her hair light illuminating her hair and giving her shoulder this outline. Now the sunset light, which is this yellow overlay on the background, is actually a speed light at the back of the background. So if you can see, this is the speed light that illuminates this portion of the background. And for the main light, I use a beauty dish illuminating her from one side. So if you don't know, my lighting setup mostly includes the beauty dish, because I explained the last time, it gives this shiny look to the face, especially dark models. It gives this silver look. It also helps to accentuate the makeup and to motivate the makeup, and sometimes it makes the picture a bit sharper because the light is direct and harsh. That's pretty much it for this picture. Although you might be seeing this field light, I didn't make use of it, so yeah. Oof, this is interesting. So essentially, like the previous picture, this is exactly the same setup, exactly the same thing, nothing changes. Although at the split second of actually pressing the shutter, I had her flip the outfit to create movement and a sense of mysteriousness. At that split second of actually hitting the shutter and taking the picture, this outfit essentially blocks the light coming from the beauty dish over to the right side, actually prevents it from making its way to illuminate her face, essentially making her face dark and every other part of her body, illuminated. And of course, we have the hair light, which is coming from up above, giving her shoulder this nice highlight. And of course, the sunset light, which is behind the background, set with the yellow gel on it. So yeah, it isn't that difficult, is it? I don't even know why this picture never made its way to the Instagram. But yeah, moving on. So last but not the least, this is one of my favorite pre-wedding couple pictures I have taken in recent times. So backstory of this picture, the couple came into the studio and they requested a particular concept. I think that was December 2024. They requested a picture. They showed me the sample on their phone, and it was a double exposure picture. But I decided, okay, why not achieve this, on camera, or in camera rather, without having to edit and all of that, because they needed it the next day. So I tasked myself and told myself, how do I achieve this look where just one section of the entire picture is lit and every other part is dark, and behind them is lit again? I know, right? Come closer, let me tell you. So what I did, I used a speed light with a cone. Then I added a grid to the cone. Now what the grid does, the grid helps to limit the light to a particular section of the image from this direction to highlight her face, and it fades off from her shoulder area and her chest area. And for the groom behind her, I had him, stand behind her, and essentially just one light, white light, facing the wall behind him to give this silhouette separation and give this, mysterious, figure and presence in the picture. So yeah, I hope you're able to learn a thing or two. There are other ways to set up your lighting, to give different representations of different moods. This is just a couple of pictures I picked out to give an example of, targeted lighting. Check out other videos linked to this video and the profile cards or in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, give it a thumbs up, share and comment. Let me know if you want more of this in the future. See you next time.